Welcome to Celebrity Scoop, your one-stop destination for all things glamorous and royal. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more juicy updates. Today we delve into a tale as old as time, but with a new twist. This is a tale of two duchesses, two women who stepped into the royal limelight from very different backgrounds, only to face eerily similar challenges. Our two protagonists? Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, and Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex. In the mid-90s, Sarah Ferguson, or Fergie as she is affectionately known, sat in the hot seat across from Oprah Winfrey. She opened up about her life as a royal, the struggles,
and just play the game and go along with the program.
You could do that.
Mm-hmm.
You could do that, and if that's what suits you, that's what suits you. But I'm afraid for Diana and I, we learn. We're like rivers. We want to learn more. We want to go around the next corner. We're hungry for life. We're very curious. Well, I speak for myself here, not for her, because she's not here.
To do this, to have this life, means you ultimately lose yourself, whatever yourself is.
Yeah.
That you can play the game, and it is the biggest game there is it not?
Yes.
That's basically what it is.
You got out there.
You
and
have to play by the rules.
Play by the rules. I must explain that the British press at the moment is completely and utterly cruel and abusive.
restrictions, and the feeling of being lost in a sea of royal protocols. She spoke of an institution that controlled her every move, a media that was all too eager to paint her in a negative light, and a support system that was conspicuously absent when she needed it the most. Fast forward to 2021. Meghan Markle, a former American actress, found herself in the same seat opposite the same host, recounting her own experiences within the very same royal family. The suffocating control, the relentless media scrutiny, the isolation from support, it's almost like a replay, isn't it? But here's where the story takes a detour. While Sarah's revelations were met with sympathy, Meghan's were met with vitriol. She was branded a liar, a disruptor, an enemy of the monarchy. The same grievances that Sarah voiced decades ago were now considered unforgivable when voiced by Meghan. So, what's the difference? Why the double standard? Is it because Meghan, unlike Sarah, refused to bear the brunt in silence because she chose to leave and protect her family from the toxic environment? Two women, two interviews, one royal family, yet the reactions they received were worlds apart. And that's just the beginning of our tale. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the journeys of these two duchesses and the glaring double standards they faced. Let's rewind to 1996. When Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, sat down with Oprah Winfrey. The Duchess, candid and genuine, opened up about the trials and tribulations of royal life. She spoke of the labyrinthine restrictions, the isolation, the palpable absence of support, and the unnerving task of navigating the complex world of royalty. Sarah painted a vivid picture of an institution that dictated every facet of her life, an invisible hand that controlled her every move. She felt deserted, like a ship adrift in a tempestuous sea, with no beacon of hope, no lighthouse guiding her to safety. And on top of it all, the media, the ever-watchful eye of the public, portrayed her in a light that was far from flattering. Yet, despite the explosive nature of her revelations, despite the shockwaves they sent through the public sphere, Sarah was not vilified. There was no public outcry, no smear campaign orchestrated by the press, no accusations of deceit or betrayal. Sarah's truth was accepted as just that, her truth. She was a woman who had struggled, who had felt abandoned, and who had grappled with the media's portrayal of her. She was a woman who had bravely laid bare her experiences, exposing the underbelly of an institution that was often viewed through rose-tinted glasses. Yet the very same confessions that Sarah was applauded for would, decades later, incite a media frenzy when echoed by Meghan Markle. The same struggles, the same feelings of abandonment, the same issues with media portrayal. The tune was eerily similar, but the reaction was worlds apart. Sarah was candid, open and honest, yet she was never vilified the way Meghan Markle was decades later. The Duchess of York's experience serves as a stark reminder of the double standards that persist within the media and the public's perception of royal life. It raises the question, why are some truths more palatable than others? Why is the same narrative accepted from one, yet vilified when spoken by another? Fast forward to 2021, Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, shares her own experiences with Oprah, recounting similar struggles. It's a new decade, a different Duchess, but the narrative echoes eerily. Meghan Markle, an American actress turned royal, found herself in the same suffocating grip that once held Sarah Ferguson. She too spoke of the control, the lack of support, and the relentless attacks from the press. But there was a stark contrast in the aftermath. Unlike Sarah, Meghan's revelations didn't just raise eyebrows. They triggered an all-out war. The British press, armed with their keyboards and headlines, launched a smear campaign against her. She was painted as a liar, a troublemaker, an ungrateful duchess who dared to bite the hand that fed her. The same struggles that Sarah had been sympathised with were now being used as ammunition against Meghan. The same lack of support, the same press attacks, the same control. The very things that had once evoked empathy for the Duchess of York were now being weaponised against the Duchess of Sussex. So, why the drastic shift in narrative? Why were Meghan's experiences not met with the same understanding as Sarah's? The answer lies not in the experiences themselves, but in the reactions to them. Sarah's admissions were seen as a cry for help, while Meghan's were viewed as an attack. And let's not forget, Meghan did something unprecedented. She chose to walk away. She stepped back from the royal family, prioritised her mental health, and took control of her own narrative. And this, perhaps, was her biggest offence in the eyes of the British press. It's clear that Meghan's story was never just about a troubled royal. It was about a woman who dared to challenge the status quo, who refused to be silenced, who stood up against an institution that had long been immune to criticism. Meghan's grievances, so similar to Sarah's, were suddenly deemed unforgivable. So why the double standard? Why was it fine for Sarah Ferguson to express her struggles, but when Meghan did, it was deemed disrespectful and ungrateful? It's a question that many have asked, and the answer seems to lie in the very different reactions these two women evoked. Sarah Ferguson was met with empathy and understanding, while Meghan Markle was met with hostility and vitriol. The disparity in reactions is glaringly apparent, and it points to a troubling double standard. It's as if the world is saying, it's okay to struggle, but only if you do it quietly. It's okay to be unhappy, but only if you don't make waves. It's okay to be human, but only if you don't disturb the status quo. But Meghan Markle refused to play by these rules. She refused to accept the abuse in silence. She refused to let the institution control her narrative. She chose to leave, to protect her family, to expose the toxic culture within the royal family. She chose to speak out, to tell her truth, even when it was uncomfortable, even when it was inconvenient. And for that, the British press has never forgiven her. They have launched an all-out smear campaign against her, painting her as a troublemaker, a liar, a destroyer of traditions. But what they fail to see is that Meghan is not the problem. The problem is the system that seeks to silence those who dare to speak out. Meghan Markle didn't just speak out, she took action. She left the royal family, she moved across the ocean, she started a new life. She chose her mental health, her family, her peace of mind. And in doing so, she rewrote the ending of her own story. Meghan Markle rewrote the ending, and no matter how much they try, the British press will never be able to take that away from her. She's a symbol of resilience, a beacon of hope for those who feel trapped in their own lives. She's a reminder that it's okay to choose yourself, to choose your happiness, no matter what the world says. The British media has not had a good night's sleep since Meghan and Harry left. Why? Because they lost control over the narrative. As we journeyed through this tale of two duchesses, we unpacked the experiences of Sarah Ferguson in 1996 and Meghan Markle in 2021. Two women, two interviews, one royal family, yet the reactions were worlds apart. Both women spoke candidly about their struggles within the royal family, the control, the lack of support, and the relentless press attacks. Yet the response to each was starkly different. Sarah Ferguson's revelations, though shocking, did not incite the same level of vitriol that Meghan Markle's did. Meghan was dubbed a liar, a troublemaker, and accused of destroying the monarchy. The same grievances that were acceptable for Sarah to express suddenly became unforgivable when it was Meghan voicing her truth. This double standard begs the question, why was it acceptable for one duchess to air her struggles, but when another did the same it was deemed disrespectful and ungrateful? The answer lies in Meghan's refusal to play by the established rules. She did not accept the abuse in silence. She chose to protect her family, leave, and expose the toxic culture within the institution. This act of defiance ruffled feathers, and the British press has yet to forgive her. Meghan's decision to leave the royal family and her courage to speak out has disrupted the narrative that the British media had been controlling for years. They expected her to suffer in silence, but she didn't. And that's what keeps them awake at night. Meghan Markle didn't just repeat history, she rewrote the ending. And that's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more updates. Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay informed, stay curious and keep questioning the narrative.